on camera. This is our pup. His name is Cub. His name is Cub.
Cub. Where are you?
We've got some books for you now. Cub. Where are you?
Doobie
Doo da. Hey everyone, this is our first TBR for this channel.
Since it is already mid-February, a couple of the books on this list have been read already by Briza and I, and we will mention those first.
Right, so the first book that I've read for the month of February is The Vegetarian. This is by Han Kang, and this book, according to the cover, won the Man Booker International Prize. And as I had mentioned earlier, I want to branch out into more international authors. Han Kang is a South Korean author, so this is the first book that I've read by a South Korean author, and I was really excited to pick this one up. We heard about this one on an NPR broadcast. They were kind of reviewing the book and talking about how good it was. And this book is basically about a woman that decides to become a vegetarian one day. Out of the blue, she just decides that she wants to restrict meat from her diet, and so she just starts on this journey of restricting first it's meat and then it's any kind of protein from her diet. And I know it sounds kind of like, what? Like, what does that even mean? But if you read it, it's a very raw and it's a very powerful story. It's super short. It's not a long book, but it has so much detail in it and it's very beautiful. This book is a very dark and powerful and raw story. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a review about this book later on, so stay tuned for that one. What do you think, boo? I'll leave it up to you. You can say anything you want to say because this is your day.
Okay.
Ernest Hemingway.
Oh my god. The first book that I have finished for the month of February is the first book in our collection of Ernest Hemingway, The Sun Also Rises. We bought this collection at our local Barnes & Noble bookstore. The Sun Also Rises is a story of an ex-soldier who fought in World War I and is living in France, and with a group of friends they go to Spain to see a bullfighting fiesta. While they are there, all the drama of that group unfolds. It's a story of the lost generation and what they go through and what they think about and their aspirations, if they have any aspirations, that is. We'll have a review for you guys out soon. Okay.
So the next book that we read for the month of February already is A Monster Calls. This one gained a lot of popularity because of the film adaptation that came out also. So this one is by Patrick Ness. We read this fairly quickly because it is a very short read and there are a lot of pictures, drawings in the book. So we read this really quickly and we recently saw the movie. We are going to be giving a full review of the book and of the film, what we thought of both of them, like a comparison, things of that sort. So stay tuned for that later on as well. We picked up this book because several booktubers that we like to watch talked about it and they reviewed it very highly, that they really liked it, really enjoyed it. So it kind of piqued our interest, especially because of the movie, and that's why we read it.
It is a story of a young boy whose mother is sick, and basically what the boy has to deal with while his mother is sick. So one night a monster comes to visit the boy and tells the boy that he wants to help him. However, all he does is tell him stories, and the boy is confused and wonders what these stories has to do with him. And that's all we're going to say of the book for now, until we review the book later in a later video.
So the next book on our TBR for the month of February is The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. Surprise, surprise. So I read 1Q84 and I absolutely loved the book, and that made me want to continue reading more from Haruki Murakami. He is a Japanese author And so his books are being translated into English and they're wonderful. So we decided to put another one into our collection. So Sky and I are both in the process of reading this book at the moment.
This is my first Haruki Murakami book.
I'm so happy to be sharing this with Sky.
Yeah, and yeah, so far it's pretty good.
So the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle is a story about a man who loses his cat and then he loses his wife. So, yes.
Big jump.
Yeah, big difference. He is in the process of solving the mystery of what happened to his cat and what happened to his wife. Like, where the hell did she go? Throughout his journey, he encounters some characters who can be his allies and some characters who are kind of like his foes, who are kind of against him. And this book is a mystery thriller type book. Is that what we said?
It's a mystery / like detective type of book.
There we go. But the characters are really awesome and we're enjoying it so far. So hopefully later on we can do a review of this book as well and hopefully get you guys hooked on Haruki Murakami.
So next on our TBR is a single read for myself, and it is the first book in our Sherlock Holmes collection. This collection houses all the complete works of Sherlock Holmes as written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It will be the first Sherlock Holmes book that I will read. Personally, I love Sherlock Holmes. I have always been a fan of the character since I was a child. Ever since I watched the movie The Great Mouse Detective, which is fantastic if you haven't seen it. So yeah, the first book I will be reading is A Study in Scarlet. It is a tale where Sherlock Holmes and John Watson first meet, and I just want to see how the plot plays out.
So the first single read of mine for the month of February was...
I'm sorry. Oops.
Rude. So my first single read for the month of February was The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and the second single read of mine for the month of February is going to be Coffee Will Make You Black. This is by April Sinclair. I have never read anything by April Sinclair, and I just so happened to come across this book at our local bookstore, and it was kind of like at the top of a super tall shelf, and I had to use another book to get this book. But anyway, so the reason that I got this book is because I wanted to read a book for this month, which is Black History Month. So this book is a coming-of-age story of an African-American Chicago?
I don't know.
If you're from Chicago, let us know.
Say Chicago citizen.
So this story has to do with an African-American young girl who lives in Chicago, and it is a coming-of-age story. It has to deal with her adolescence and as she's growing up and how she deals with her newfound sexuality and how all these things are changing in her life. And it just sounds really interesting to read and very relevant to this month. I want to branch out into other cultures, and since it is Black History Month, I thought this book would be really appropriate. Like I said, I've never read April Sinclair, but I've looked it up online and the reviews are really good, so I'm really excited to read this one.
Our last book for this month's TBR is 1984 by George Orwell. I am pretty sure that many of you out there have heard of this book. It is gaining in popularity right now, within the past month or so. This book will actually be a reread for us. We both read it back in high school, and it was way back in the day, so we just remember that it was like a dystopian novel. But yeah, it'll be the only book this month that we are rereading.
Yes.
So that's it for our first TBR ever. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys maybe got interested in some of these books. If you did, comment below. If you've read these books, comment below and let us know.
But don't spoil it. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for our reviews and for more videos from us.
Catch you on the next chapter. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.